Well, guess we'll see whether this works or not. I should not have made fun of the CIA spooks earlier in the day, I guess. They're now trying to silence me and stop this stream from happening. So, yeah, we'll see if this works, Phil, or if anyone even finds it, given that the one that I said was going to happen is now a dead stream. Um, yeah, you see the ghost in the background there? Well, let's see. Oh, yeah, we need to put up the link, don't we? For people want to come up and join in instead of typing in the side chat. There we go. Yeah, the unfortunate thing is the stream that wouldn't work. Fluffy Boy Cat was actually sitting on the back of the chair and looking over my shoulder. Um, oh, I see a new face, so to speak. Dr. PP's, Dr. DP's musical medicine show. Hey, Doctor, welcome. Um,
We have a doctor in the house? Wow.
yeah, yeah, we're getting fancy here. We're getting the other half coming to see what's going on.
Did you get rid of the spy satellite?
Did I get rid of what?
Did you get rid of the spy satellite?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Because I think making a new stream that would trick them, especially since I put Austin Powers um, on the thumbnail. They'll never suspect. All right, DP. Well, glad to have you. Is it out of gas? Probably. Yep, tinfoil hat time. Uh, well, now I'm completely thrown off. I had I had a couple of ideas in mind, but I got so irritated at the streams that now I am having to totally reset. You were extremely Irish last night. I don't know what that means. I must have that explained to me. Were you swearing or just drinking a lot? Or both? Yeah, so, one conspiracy thing that actually has been rattling around a little bit in my head uh, ever since last week when I had to unfortunately uh, temporarily kick one of the guests off the panel um, is what could possibly be the point of the huge conspiracy that involves hiding the fact that the Earth is flat and I guess is traveling through the universe on the back of a giant turtle or maybe in three elephants or something.
Special knowledge.
Yeah, I know, but why?
It's the idea that a small group of people know the real truth, and that the rest of the people are just being lied to. And if we could expose that lie, everybody will see the truth. So I have special knowledge.
So you don't. So there's no real. So there's no real purpose. They don't think there's actually a reason for why they're having this secret. Why the world is we're all being lied to. There's nothing to gain for them to do that. They're just doing it to do it.
It's not that they're doing it to do it, right? It's that there's a group of people who have um, these ideas, and they all seem to tie together. And all of their ideas are from 9/11 to the flat Earth to we fake the moon landing, is this idea that uh, if you just understood what I understood, you'd see that this is all a real uh, you're all being duped. Now, I don't know. I don't get what they're trying to get out of this. I mean, the level of people that would have to be involved in all of this is staggering, and the fact that no one ever comes out and goes, "Yeah, that's true."
Well, yeah, yeah, no, I'm not saying why people believe it. I'm just I've never been able to figure out what they think the reason for making up things about, why they are lying about the galaxy and the universe and the earth. And you know okay, during the Cold War, fine, they lied about it because they wanted to prove they'd beaten the Russians to the moon. But the Russians, I would have figured out that America was lying, that they didn't go to the moon, that there are no satellites orbiting the Earth. And they would have pointed that out during the 70s, or hell, during the 80s, when things were falling apart for them. Except, no, 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 they're also involved in the conspiracy. Um, I why what that's the thing. What is the rationale that they have for why they're the lie exists? And I have not been able to find that rationale. But I will admit, I haven't bothered reading any of the books because I've been doing scholarship the way I've learned to do it off YouTube, just looking at Wikipedia pages. um,
I think it depends on the particular group or person that you're talking to. Some of them they come at it from a biblical standpoint. So they think this is what the Bible says. The Bible says the earth is flat. And so to them, it's the devil is forcing people to believe in a round world. And so to save everybody's immortal soul, we have to break the spell of the devil. Again, I think that's complete nuts, but
but then we have you know people like Sovereign Soul uh, who tried to argue it from a scientific point of view. I haven't heard him ever
but
bring up religion. I've heard him bring up physics and science and
but he doesn't.
electromagnets
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
kinds of stuff. That even me with my limited knowledge of science could go, well, I don't know that it quite works that way, but okay. Um,
It doesn't. And again, I think he is an example of a type of person who has an ego base that is such that he wants to show you he's smarter than all of the scientists. The scientists, they don't know anything. I can figure this out.
well, the scientists are in on the lie, though, according to this theory, this information. I would assume. I mean, billions of people have to be involved in hiding this. From
That
from
that right, and that's what I'm saying is that the amount of people that you would have to have involved in this is so astronomical it cannot be possible. Um, but again, I think with Sovereign, I think he has a idea in his head that he thinks is logical, and he can't get rid of it. And no matter how much you disprove it, he just simply doubles down and comes up with his own thing.
uh,
I
well,
think he smokes. I think he smokes too much dope, but that's just me.
yeah. Well, I kept hoping he actually would show back up on the stream or something, because one night he came in and he said he'd been on a vision quest. He'd actually seen the devil, and I genuinely wanted to hear that story because I don't really necessarily believe in such things. but I'm always fascinated to hear from people who do. Um, but has never, never came back, never talked about it since. So I don't know. But I guess, and Liz said, why do any conspiracies exist? Uh, well, the wacky ones like 9/11 was faked, and the flat Earth theory, and the lizard people control us. Um, those,
Scientology.
yeah. Well, Scientology was a science fiction writer that
Yeah,
that
I know.
came up with a grift. Um, but and yeah, Kelly, that's actually what Dave said. He actually went out and was taking shrooms, and he met the devil out in somewhere in the wherever it is that he lives down there, somewhere in the southeast, I think. Um,
Virginia.
Virginia, okay. Um, but Liz, I mean, there are criminal conspiracies, there are real conspiracies, and they revolve around keeping power or keeping wealth or gaining wealth. So, but I have yet to find an element of the flat Earth stuff that says, "Oh, these people are doing it because for reason they gain X." Well, they gain power. Okay, what power? What power do you gain by pretending that the Earth is that picture that, or denying that the Earth is not that picture that I've up there, denying that the Earth is round? Um, I don't know. That's just something that's been kicking around in my head. It's probably just me that needs to get a life. But
No, I don't think that at all. I ponder it too, Steve. I think that the handicap that you and I have, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Dan has, we're rational people, and we try to think of the world in a rational sense. Um, and if you're not rational, then you can leap to these giant conspiracies. That's why we're not conspiracy theorists, Steve.
no, yeah, that could be.
Doesn't make rational sense.
Yeah, I
But the world has got immensely more complicated.
yeah,
Anything you want to talk about, computers, power grids, fuel, food supplies, everything is complicated now. Most people don't understand it. So they revert to something they do understand.
yeah.
It's
The actual,
simple. There's a flat earth and people are out to get us.
yeah. Yeah, when I actually started trying to do a little bit of research into this, I limited myself to basically the quote modern era. I mean, 20th century, 1900s onward is what I was kind of looking at, the beliefs for the flat Earth, and operating on the assumption that around that time is when there's no question that science and travel was far enough advanced that just simple observation and just even basic studies would show to you that no, this flat Earth is nonsense. Um, so again, I'm just it fascinates me, and it's one of those things I'm going, gosh, I almost wish that I could figure out those beliefs and even maybe buy into them, because I spent many years making my living, making stuff up and imagining stuff. But I've never really believed that, as cool as it would be, I've never believed that ghosts are real or elves are real or any of that stuff is real.
Hey,
But,
dragons are real.
okay, yes, dragons are real. I will grant you that dragons are real.
The jelly god is real.
Yes, and the jelly god, dragons, the jelly god. Um, let's see. Well, those giant M&Ms that walk around with tennis shoes on, they're real too. And
I
Sure.
know, but have you ever tried to catch the little buggers to eat them? Fast little moving.
yeah,
I think that there's just a certain segment of humanity that
oh, want to do that.
is searching for something, and they think they've found it, and it's a source of knowledge, and they feel special in it.
Yeah.
And so they want to hold on to that specialness because in every other sense they're simply ordinary. They just can't be ordinary. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I guess. I guess I'm. It's when I see people that otherwise seem intelligent and well informed that when they're
Wait, there's
blinded to this
one
stuff.
of them that seems intelligent and well informed.
Well, when I hear again the Sovereign Soul talk about other issues, he doesn't seem like he's a crazy man or a stupid man. He
Oh, he's
seems
definitely crazy. I like Sovereign Soul, but he's batshit crazy.
and he seems to be something of a seems to be somewhat talented musician, at least playing guitars. Leprechauns.
Yeah. Musicians are not known for their sanity. Artists are definitely not known for being sane.
That is true.
Excuse me. Yes, Liz. It's kind of a theory. It's kind of an adaptation of that. Yeah, adopters or adapters theory. But what I think is we have, over 7 billion people on the planet. Like all species and organisms, we all have slight variations, slight differences. And as time has gone on, I just think that certain characteristics have been passed on, for lack of better phrasing, in a sort of Darwinian phrasing, and I think we're seeing the adaptations of those of that going on. And so I think you have people who otherwise are rational people in some sense can't grasp onto rationality in another sense. And I don't think it's their fault. I think their brain is wired that way. And on my theory, this is just part of evolution. I don't like it, but and I think as you get more people, you're going to see more and more examples of that. What used to be a small sample size has gotten larger, but it's gotten larger not because people have gotten worse, it's because population has increased. So
Well,
that's kind of my theory on.
It's more easier. I word really well. It's easier to get your ideas out. It's easier to find people who agree with you or to listen to you than it has ever been, I think.
Yes, I agree with that.
Also why it seems seems like there's more of this than when I was a kid, but I think that's just because it's so much easier to communicate and to get your stuff out there.
Right, and you know it, right? When I was a kid, you didn't know this stuff because unless you had somebody who's, who was either into flat Earth or their parents were something like that, you would have never known it. Now you just click on YouTube, type in flat Earth, and you're bombarded with thousands of videos.
Yeah, no, actually, when I was in my early teens, I knew both about the flat Earth and the hollow Earth because I heard about it from the parental unit, along with all the religious stuff and everything else. He told us a lot about people's beliefs. So, but we also learned that no, the Earth is round and in space, and people have gone to the moon. So, anyhow, I don't know. Is that the controversy I should embrace to light my channel on fire? Probably not.
Well, you should have picked the for flat Earth side. Then you could have lighted your channel on fire because everybody'd be like, "Look at this wacko."
Well, I saw was it Eric the Viking, where they go to the edge of the Earth, and then they sort of hook their longboat to the waterfall, and they maneuver over the edge, and then it's another flat sea surface.
I didn't see that, so I don't. That would sound funny.
Or did I imagine that scene? No, I couldn't have imagined that scene. That must be something that's real.
Kelly says yes.
Kelly says, okay, it wasn't Eric the Viking. Okay. I remember enjoying that movie a lot. Can't remember much about it other than that scene right there. Hollow Earth came with the Hobbit books. Really?
No, Hollow Earth is older.
Before that. Because wasn't Hollow Earth... All right, now I'm curious, actually, whether I'm misremembering. Hollow Earth, because I'm pretty sure it started as a fiction. Or I guess it could come from people, believing that Hades' stuff is under Earth. But let's see. Okay. Kabbalistic literature mentions it. Tibetan Buddhists mention it. But
I'm trying to think. Popular culture, probably Jules Verne.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember.
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jules Verne. You are correct. 1884 was the first big pop culture use of it, I think. Yeah, everybody else up to that point looks like they were playing with the notion as though it could possibly be real. Jeremy Reynolds, who was somebody back in the day, argued for an expedition. He wanted to actually go to Hollow Earth, wanted to go to Antarctica to look for the entrance, but he missed joining the U.S. exploring expedition in 1838, so he never had a chance.
Oh, well, saved him a wasted trip.
Yeah, no kidding. Yes, they tried to silence me, but they failed.
We shall try harder next time.
They probably will.
Yeah,
well,
I meant they. Yeah, definitely they. We meant they, didn't we, Phil?
Yes, they.
I will not.
I worked out, Dan, that Steve was a CIA spy in your chat. So
he's not a CIA spy. He's a CIA interrogator.
He was a mole. He was a mole. I figured out he was a mole in the chat.
Yeah. No.
They're already planning to do a whole live stream tomorrow about how Becca shouldn't be afraid by a threat that apparently isn't a threat.
Yeah, I saw that.
To get a real estate lawyer from Arizona to talk about what a criminal threat is in Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, that.
Because that works.
I didn't know. Here's what I found interesting about that. I didn't know you guys were feuding.
Neither did I until he came up and told me I was feuding.
There's a conspiracy for you, Steve.
Was this a corrections guy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because as well, even more so than a normal day, I was coming and going, only catching a few minutes here and there. During one of which is like Phil said, I threw out some misinformation. Yeah, that's it, misinformation. So I guess that's the drama. I can declare my allegiance. Oh my gosh. So, well, here.
Yeah, Liz hits it right on the head.
Criminal threat is a wobbler crime, which means it can be charged either as a felony or a misdemeanor. Yep, I actually knew that. It'll be up to the prosecutor to decide which type of charge to bring. The specific circumstance of your case and any prior criminal history you may have are all determining factors in the severity of the charges brought against you. I'm sure it varies by state, but that would be the general kind of... That would be what the Arizona real estate attorney can be able to say. So, should I know who this real estate attorney is?
Yeah, AZ Jeep Go, the one that Chili attacked.
Oh, oh, I. So what? The battle lines are being drawn because I think I've seen her on your guys' channel. Isn't
Yeah,
that where I've seen her? Yeah. Oh, over in Law Talk with Mike as well.
yeah.
This is goofy.
Yes.
Um,
You know,
oh,
here's the interesting part to me as a layperson. Every day in every courthouse across America, there are court trials going on, and there are lawyers on opposing sides who have differing views on the law. What makes a creator think I can get the expert on here who's going to tell you what it is?
well,
You have a prosecutor. You have a prosecutor who's bringing charges. You have a defense attorney who's going, they don't apply. Every day across the United States.
Mhm.
Somebody's right, but there's not going to be one person who goes, yep, this is what it is.
Also, there's a very good reason why you have to sit a state bar in each individual state you want to practice in.
yep.
It's because the damn laws are so different. Having
Yep.
someone who's qualified to be a lawyer in Arizona doesn't necessarily mean that they know shit about the laws in Virginia.
Well, again, I do not. And the whole thing tracks back to that you did not want you guys left getting involved on his panel. That's just so goofy.
Yeah.
Um,
But remember, he has nothing personally against us all. He's just going to attack us for 3 days.
yeah. I'm going to steal that misinformation beauty pageant idea, Hank. Just so you know, I'm going to be able to do something with that. I think.
If only I was a creator. God, that would make a great series.
What, the beauty pageant?
Yeah, you know, every week or so, every day or whatever time you do your videos, you could do another contestant, you know, have the audience vote.
Mind you, Steve, you've got to be careful what you say, you know.
Oh,
Well, you've got to be worried about this frauditor that's in between you and I.
Hey
oh,
now. Hey now.
We've seen the video evidence. Damn
That's pretty good.
frauditor.
I liked it. I liked it. I sent it to you, Steve.
you did?
Yeah.
When?
Just a little bit ago.
Oh, okay. So sometime this afternoon or evening.
Just like, I don't know, about 25 minutes ago.
All right. Let me see.
It was a beauty, don't you think, Dan? Wasn't that great?
I did.
Yeah, Sue Bear. Oh, by the way, hi, Sue Bear. I don't think I said hi when you arrived, and same thing with all the other people that have been showing up. Oh, what you're looking at was just something I was reading, and I didn't blow it up big enough because one of these days I'm going to get home early enough to play around and figure out how to switch the skinny monitor, switch my screens around basically, and still be able to see what's going on in the chat. Oh, here we go. Is the Pope now?
No, I am not Minister of Misinformation. I am like Jesus and Buddha and all the great religious leaders who have to dabble in the dark side to understand it in order to be able to defeat it.
He's a frauditor.
Man, I'd show your video, but it hasn't come through yet.
Harassing those poor government workers.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
If I could figure out how to share it, I would.
Well, hopefully it'll show up. It's just being slow. I mean, did you type my email address in, or did you use the link on in YouTube?
No, I typed it in.
Okay, yeah, then it should come through at some point here. Oh, and I went and watched Beaver's stream, Liz. Yeah, that was some wacky stuff in the side chat. Um,
What, Beaver Zero?
yeah, Beaver Zero. Oh, not Aaron. The guy that with the flat Earth arguments and such that was here.
Austin.
Oh, Austin.
Austin, yes, Austin. He was in Beaver Zero side chat one night.
Oh, Beaver would have had fun.
Yeah. No, he seemed to be amusing, being amused by it. But what happened to my hair here? It's even worse than normal. There, that's why I wear the hat. But what was I? Oh yeah. Let's see here. So, what other good conspiracies could we look up and maybe adopt as my channel's drama? Because I don't know.
How
I don't
about
know.
one of the old ones? What about the City of Gold, El Dorado?
Oh, there you go. Well, let's see here if there's. Oh, that was disappointing. Google has failed me.
They're intentionally failing you.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, they're trying to keep you down.
Oh.
They're
Yeah.
shadow ban.
Yeah.
They're trying to keep you from that City of Gold.
Yep. Now, what I was
What
thinking.
about aliens building the pyramids? That's always a popular one.
That's actually one that I can wrap my mind around. I can't wrap my mind around the flat Earth, but I can wrap my mind around aliens building pyramids.
Why would they want to?
Oh,
right.
well, landmarks. Also, where they land their spaceships. Did you not see Stargate?
Yes, I did, and it was really good, but no.
Oh no. Stargate was made. That was straight up to make people not believe that that all the pyramids around the world were all built by aliens pretending to be gods. It was just to prevent it from becoming truth from getting out. No, I'm just going to want to.
Yeah.
You got to work on that one a little more.
Yeah. Well, I the other day made a joke that I needed to find drama for the channel because it's not a real YouTube channel unless there's some sort of drama going on.
We can have Pope Phil declare war on me.
Phil declare war on me? The Civil War? Yeah.
No, it'll be a holy war.
Yeah, it'll be a jihad.
Or a Jeepster, whichever works.
Yeah. I guess one reason why I'm fascinated by some of these things is.
Oh, I know what you can do to create drama.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, guaranteed to create drama.
Okay.
Get lots of views too. Start putting anti-DeSantis stuff in your show description.
Anti-DeSantis.
The MAGA lot will be here in about 30 seconds.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, you won't get no sense out of them, and they'll just scream America and USA a lot, but they'll create drama.
There is that. Yeah, actually, you know what's fascinating to me? Oh, well, should probably make myself a little bigger, but you will see the mermaid hickey is pretty much gone, and I'm on 1.2 million blood thinners at the moment. So how is it that my mermaid hickey disappeared and Cholitos had his brood for much longer? Was he showing it off to those?
Yep.
Yeah, he was. Okay. How can he still have that bruise?
Ah, that's it. Steve didn't have a mermaid hickey. He'd put it on with Amber Heard's makeup products.
Yeah.
Go on, Steve. Time to fess up. You were trying to frame that poor innocent mermaid.
Yeah. No, it did not. However, my left arm does have a. Who's this? Did someone just leave? Bill left.
Me. That was me.
On purpose, or
Yeah,
should I put you back out?
No.
Oh, okay. I actually do have nerve damage in my left arm, and so I never can quite tell whether I'm gripping strongly enough with this hand. So I'm left-handed. That's a real pain in the ass. So that's another reason why I'm going. Yeah, Chili, you're exaggerating slightly. I think your thing, but yeah, I again, I didn't see much of his. I saw enough of his stuff to think that he was talking to the wrong internal affairs people.
No, it's just who they sent out. The officer who was actually dealing with this case wasn't available, so they just grabbed whichever poor bastard they could find
Okay.
and said, "Here, you go talk to the nutcase."
I was amused by the fact that, well, the one guy that said I deal with COs, I had the impression he must have been talking about jail staff of some sort.
He was.
Which they interpreted to mean command staff.
Right. Again, I go back to what I was saying last night. He's just an idiot.
Yeah. Abused a mermaid with tails. Yep. Also, tail.
I think
ALES.
I think you abused mermaids for the tails. I think you're in the black market selling mermaid tails. That's the conspiracy.
Yep. But yeah, my mermaid bruise is all but gone. So, if it indeed was there, if it was real to begin with, you will never know.
We could always start a rumor that Steve is actually the real life Cruella de Vil and he's murdering puppies. And that's why you only ever see him with cats.
No, that's a little bit too much drama.
We could promote your fisting amendment more.
Okay, that would certainly that would put me in the target of some of your foes. That's for sure. Like Mr. Coded.
And corrections. Now.
Oh, I know. Next time you're in our side chat, we can have a fake argument. You can fall out, and then Coded will start coming around you. That'll work as drama.
Yeah.
I'll jump in on it just because Dan only has Yip Men.
And you'll cast me out into the darkness.
We'll leave you with Coded.
I'll banish you to hell and Dakota's chat.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
Or yeah, I could. Well, no, if I support DeSantis, then I'll have all the Trumpkins come in. I suppose.
No, if you support DeSantis, you'll just get banned.
I'll just get banned.
Well, think about it. How are you going to talk about any of his policies without violating YouTube's policy on hate speech?
Well, that's true. I suppose the other political controversy, at least as of today, would be if you don't support Tim Scott, you're a racist.
Wait,
Right.
what?
You're anti-black.
Tim Scott has announced that he's running for president.
Tim
But
Scott
he
is.
has the brain capacity of roadkill.
It's even worse than that. You really need to watch his announcement video. It is really
No, I mean,
hilarious.
aside from the announcement video, I've actually met Tim Scott once.
Oh, really?
The guy is as thick as pig shit.
I can believe that.
Like, I'm not sure without the operator behind him, it's actually capable of speaking.
It seems to be anyone who's running for president in this cycle, except from Kelly pointed out that one Democrat that might not be a complete moron. Geez, maybe I will have to vote for either that Tiger guy or oh my God, the pot smoking guy I was joking about a few weeks back.
Afro Man.
Afro Man, yes.
Steve, face it, you're going to be voting for Biden to keep one of the idiots out.
Maybe that'll be the controversy here. I'm still sticking to my guns. I'm never voting for Biden. I just cannot.
It will be a question of, do you want Biden or lunatic with hand on nuclear button?
Yeah.
Let's be honest, that's why Biden won. No one likes Biden. No one wanted Biden. They just didn't want 4 more years of a lunatic with his finger on the button.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice now with Biden. You can go to bed at night and know the earth will still exist when you wake up.
Yeah.
It's a nice feeling. Somehow, for a few years there, that became an unusual feeling.
Here's my nice feeling about it. I can actually have a disagreement about an actual policy or an actual law that was passed.
Mm-hmm.
And not some, very soon I'm going to do this. It'll be next week. That never comes. or tax cuts that don't really help anybody except for my billionaire friends.
True. Steve, you can call Biden names and no one's going to try and set fire to you.
Right.
You can say that Biden's a senile old duffer. No one cares.
You know, none of my Democrat friends refuse to speak to me because I talk badly about Biden.
Yeah, that's true.
I no longer have friends that supported Trump because I didn't. Like, okay.
Well, back during the original Trump Biden matchup, I lost friends on both sides of that particular equation because I was pretty open about hating both of them. Well, hating is too strong a term. Not thinking either one of them were any good. But
oh my God, no means are any of them any good. No, we're talking about not clinically insane.
Yeah,
we've set the bar really low.
Yeah. No, I'm certainly with everyone that says no, no more Trump. That's for damn sure. That train I can get on board.
Yeah, but where did they find someone who makes Trump look sane? Let's be honest here. DeSantis' stuff actually makes Trump look like the reasonable, mature adult in the room. That takes some doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, he even managed to be more pro-Nazi than Trump was.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure any of them are pro-Nazis. I like to draw.
No. DeSantis was pro-Nazi. He
Really?
point blank refused to say a single word negative about them when they were waving Nazi flags at him.
Huh.
Or when they painted him across bridges in Florida or were stood there having nice protests. Nope. And then he complained about the reporters for asking him about the Nazis.
Okay, I need to go look up some more about that. I think I may have missed some of that.
It's his whole go extreme right to out right wing Trump strategy.
Yeah.
You know, he's literally doing the book burnings in Florida, for Christ's sake.
Yes. That's the issue I have with DeSantis. I don't know, Steve. I understand your reluctance. I don't know that he's pro-Nazi, but I accept the general point. He doesn't talk. He doesn't disown them. So he doesn't come out and say, "Yeah, I'm pro-Nazi," but he refuses. He did what Trump did. He refuses to acknowledge that's bad.
You know, think about it. When did this become a difficult situation for a politician to handle? Are you pro or anti-Nazi? This was always a pretty easy question.
Yes.
Well, it is and it isn't, because it has gotten to the point now where everyone is a Nazi. I mean,
No,
when
no,
they,
I'm not talking. No, I'm not talking about the liberal description of Nazis. I mean actual fucking Nazis.
yeah,
Yes.
Swastikas, flags, uniforms,
Right.
Nazis.
yeah,
Yeah.
I need to,
People who are claiming they are actual Nazis.
yeah,
Now, it's not to say that DeSantis is a Nazi, right? It's that he doesn't. He can't go. Yeah, that's bad. That's all he needs to do. Go. Yeah, that's bad. He can't even do that.
There's even a
Okay.
boilerplate speech you can make. Nazis are bad. End of speech.
Right.
There you go. You know, and things like you can't say gay in school. And it started off with you can't say gay in junior schools, you know, young kids, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's now up to 19-year-olds in school can't say the word gay.
I knew about the grade schools. I didn't know about it had been advanced.
Yeah, he just expanded it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's farcical of what? This is someone who's supposed to stand up for the Constitution whilst violating it every possible opportunity he can find? Because if that isn't a violation of freedom of speech, what the hell is?
Yeah.
And think about it. You can go and call a police officer every vile name you can think of and not be charged with a crime. You say the word gay in a school and you've committed a crime.
Yeah, I haven't followed that as closely as perhaps I should. Last time I paid attention to it, the argument was being made that it wasn't as extreme as all that, but they're claiming it was being distorted, but I don't know. So you sound like
Yeah,
you've been paying more attention.
their
So
claim that it was being distorted was when the New York Times dared to actually print the law they wrote.
okay,
It was that kind of what? They literally just printed the law you wrote that you've just passed and that DeSantis signed. This isn't a distortion. This is the actual document. But it's the first thing people do now is if you publish something somebody doesn't like, oh, that's misinformation.
yeah. Well, and that's another problem with
This is the problem when you allow people to have their own facts.
yeah. Well, and we've even seen it in this small little kerfuffle going on in our tiny little YouTube corner, that we saw what's his name Coded deny his own words, just a few minutes later.
Yep. But you watch tomorrow, that'll be we twisted his words.
Yeah. And yeah, Subair, I'm kind of in the same boat. But fortunately, there's many months until we have to make up our decision. Make up our decision? Make up our minds.
On behalf of the rest of the world, We have a request to make to you Americans. Can you please pick someone who's fucking sane? Don't care what party, just sane.
That would be
No
nice.
guarantees.
That's all we're asking is just look, there are 360 odd million of you. There's got to be at least 2 of you that you can find that are sane and want the damn job.
You would think so. That's not always true.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Either that or just change the rules and let one of the old ones come back. Look, we'll take Bush Jr.
Mm.
Seriously, people are starting to look back to Bush Jr. and think this was the good days.
Yeah, with nostalgia, yes.
Does that not show you how far you've gone off track? Although the bit that does make me laugh, I'm going to guess that probably both Steve and Phil are Republican leaning or have been Republican leaning. Here's one for you. Ronald Reagan wouldn't be allowed in the Republican Party today.
Yes.
Yeah, that is
He
true.
would be a Democrat. With
Yes.
exactly the same policies, he would be a Democrat.
Yep.
And
Well-
yet they try and quote Reagan all the time and, you know, have a go at people who are about where he was, calling them extreme leftists.
Yeah, and actually, Kelly, you're right. The legislative body should have more emphasis, but I think another problem with the American system that I've seen solidify over the last couple of decades is Congress has kind of almost given up their responsibilities to be the lawmakers and the controllers of the levers. And they've been deferring entirely too much to the executive branch, I think.
Yes. And the judicial branch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to get rid of the filibuster.
Well, they need to actually enforce the Constitution.
Yeah.
You see, the Senate should not be appointing federal judges, especially not Supreme Court judges. Their job is to consult and advise, not approve.
Right.
Somehow that's morphed into the Senate gets to approve, which it never was. It was always just consult and advise.
Yeah.
But see, that goes back to the filibuster, right? And that's why, especially in the Senate, they need to abolish the filibuster.
Or have it done properly.
I don't think they can do it properly. That's the problem.
No, have it done like it used to be. See, at the moment, you just stand up and go, I'm doing a filibuster, and then you sit down. The old scheme, no, your ass had to stay standing and talking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when they change that rule, part of the short-sightedness of changing that rule is you can't go back to it, which is one of the silly rules of the Senate. So,
Yeah. There are many of those.
Once you change a procedure in the Senate, you have to get rid of that procedure. You can't just simply go, we want to change it back. It's a really weird rule of the Senate. But you don't get any debate. You don't get any meaningful debate. You don't get any meaningful bipartisanship because of the filibuster.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to have some fun?
Yeah,
But
you
will
make-
probably cause a whole shit ton of drama.
Absolutely.
Sure. Let's watch this scene that she brought up. H brought
Okay.
up. Then we'll do the drama. And
Walking into the sunset, back to your home, the tar pit. You are sad. Oh boy, you look back, dejected. You wave goodbye. Good. Now you keep walking and you keep waving. walking, waving. A little more feeling.
Okay. All right, Sylvanus.
Why not have a debate?
A debate.
A political debate. Steve, you moderate. Phil,
Okay.
you lean Republican. You get the Republican policies.
Well, I actually don't lean Republican, but I'll do it. Sure. I can fake conservatism.
And I'll take the far leftist nutjob policies. And we actually have to debate them as if we're serious about them and come up with how they would work, etc. A proper thingy debate. But with two idiots doing it and another idiot moderating it.
I was going to say, I mean, me moderating would be, all right, you got 5 minutes. Okay, you're 5
No,
minutes.
you've got to stop us killing each other.
I can win any debate against Dan.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't.
On American politics, I can. All I have to say is America.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is 1812, bitch.
Good night, H.
We won that debate.
Your comments in the chat, I found them very amusing, and I kept wanting to come back around to them. Come back. We need to talk some more about those ideas. And Family Feud style political debate.
I like that.
Remember, you come up with the debate rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Wow.
the topics. You gotta pick the topic. The general topics.
And Phil and I will do our research, and we will actually come back with the genuine policies that the idiot parties have for these.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. This take a little bit of time to set up. Because this is one of the things that, yeah, I actually want to put a little bit of thought into this. It's not a bad suggestion, actually.
I like it.
Yeah, it's almost like you have a channel that runs three or 4 nights a week, and you got to come up with topics and do stuff. Oh, Kelly's already suggesting the topics, but yeah, immigration would definitely be one of them.
Yeah, healthcare, immigration, gun control.
Yeah. Gun control is going to be a hard one for me.
Liz already saw what.
We're on opposite ends, Dan. I own no guns.
Oh.
I'm not opposed to them. I just don't own any.
Healthcare, yeah. Okay. Let me actually write this down so it doesn't fall off of my radar. Even though it's here.
It's not something that could be done tonight because obviously there's got to be some research put into this because otherwise it won't work.
Oh, yeah. I've got to come up with, like you said, I got to come up with the questions, and then you guys get them, and you can do a little bit of research, and we got to set this up like basically as close to the real thing as we can. Yeah.
You know what the scary thing is? Wait until they're doing it next time, the actual debates. I'll bet you ours will actually make more sense than theirs does.
Yes, it'll probably be better.
Oh my. That.
Infrastructure, healthcare, yeah, the economy.
So, you're up. You're just north of here, right? No, where are you, Aish? Or maybe she's already out of here. I'm trying to remember where she is.
Canada somewhere.
It is Canada. Okay, so yeah, okay, yeah. Their fires are giving us smoke down here.
Yeah, that's how I know that, because we're having the same issue.
Yeah, I do like this typo though.
Kelly, education for tribal nations. Well, I agree that's an important subject. Republicans, that's not a issue, a major issue.
What, Republicans are in favor of education now?
No, they're not. That's what I'm saying. Kelly's suggestion was a debate topic of education for tribal nations.
Well, she's just listing off that are important. All those are important.
No, yes, and they are important. And what I'm saying is Republicans would never take that as an important topic.
Yeah.
True. We do have to keep it within the bounds of realism.
So, for my party, I would never agree to that as a debate question.
Well, I guess the question is, are we doing this just from a United States perspective, or are we doing it from a broader perspective? As an impact?
Oh, I think U.S. perspective.
Okay. Actually,
the majority of the audience is going to be US, and if start doing it from wider perspective, it might get a bit.
Yeah, and conservative parties across the world are vastly different.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the Conservative Party here would be only very slightly to the right of the Democrats in the US.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sue Bear.
Well, yep, Sue Bear wasn't quite as wacky as it gets some nights, but I like this wacky idea. And thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you were entertaining enough that you'll come by again some night. Yeah.
Sue Bear has to come back or we won't be besties anymore.
Don't say that, or she'll team up with Sumi and beat you up in the chat tomorrow.
Yeah, that's probably true.
There'll be a Pope getting defrocked.
Actually, I'm also amused by the fact that we do this debate and we have a foreigner talking about American issues.
I can put on the accent if need be. I'll work on it.
I think it'll be delicious.
Yeah.
I think it'll be delicious.
Okay, I'm giving myself a deadline, Public Topics. End of the week. I guess I'll need you guys' emails, though. So, put them in
We've
private.
already got one to get hold of me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You have it on your page. And I've got emails from that account. So,
yeah.
And
I can forward you on Phil's in case he doesn't want it out in the public.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Yeah, go ahead and do that, because I seem to be having problems with mine going through to him.
Yeah, or you can use private chat. Oh, which reminds me, Liz, thank you very much for warning me about the fact that I'd missed the off button last night.
Yes, that was hilarious. We did think at one point there was going to be a nude Steve.
No, I mean, even if I had stood up, it would have been. Look, I'm wearing. I can't see the pants, but I am wearing pants. But
yes, but you were starting to strip.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did this. I was unbuttoning the shirt because it's a little warm in here. But I had this image of myself. There's this clip. I don't know where I saw it. Maybe it was on YouTube somewhere. But Snoop Dogg had done some sort of stream to promote a new record, new album, and he came in to his office like a day later, and the live stream had been on all night and all day, and had just been streaming this empty office, and you could hear people in the background, and so I had an image of that happening if Liz hadn't spoken up. But no, there would not have been a CNN style moment.
It could have been worse. You could have started doing the Tom Cruise scene, to what was the song? Where he's there in his t-shirt and underwear, just sliding along the floor.
Bob Seger. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob
Yeah.
Seger's Old-fashioned rock and roll, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
I can't remember what the actual song's called, though.
I know. I can't either. I can hear it in my head.
This is confession time. That is one of those movies I've never seen.
Well, I can't remember the damn movie. I just remember the scene because
Yeah.
it was everywhere.
Well, I've seen the clip of him sliding in the socks, but
Yeah.
I can't remember the music or anything. But I have oh my God, brain stopping now. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's one of those I've seen. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and
Yeah, he wasn't in that, though.
right, he wasn't. But that's of those types of movies. I've seen that one, and I've seen the one with the kids in detention, who I'm forgetting the title of right now.
Breakfast Club?
Breakfast Club, yes. Those are the two of that genre that I've seen. But yeah,
Yes.
never,
It is called Old Time Rock and Roll, by the way.
Ah,
Risky Business is what it was.
the film, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Actually, I think everybody got thrown backstage, Liz, because I was just clicking people, just kind of. I'm never quite sure whether this is like since I see this happen on Discord where people will close down their Discord but they're still logged in, so they're quote idle, and wasn't sure whether if I log out here, do you guys all stay logged in or you just automatically get kicked or what? So I kind of try to turn off people if they're still on. So that's what happened. And then when I reached up to click end stream, I missed it, which is weird because it gets bright red or orange or something. But I totally biffed that one. Well, I guess that would be a good sign-off signature. Start unbuttoning my shirt every time we're about ready to end. That will make people sign off, I'm sure, and leave in a big hurry.
You know what? It's a big thing for Law Talk with Mike, so you might actually be surprised.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Or you could start doing it while singing "Leave Your Hat On." And in case Steve hasn't seen the film, Full Monty.
No, I've seen that. That I've seen. Yep. Yeah. Now I'm just thinking about that. That could be fun. That could be fun and funny and actually maybe even informative. We could learn something.
Sounds like a good combination.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
See, the Jelly God is not completely insane. Not completely.
Wow. And here I was just sort of joking around and thinking that we'd come up with just lame controversies, and we actually, you came up with an actual real workable idea for a stream, not just nonsense. So
I'm sure we can get Jim to promote it.
Yeah, I suspect there'll be some nonsense in the debate, but the idea is not nonsense. The idea is a good idea. I will not include questions about position on revealing the truth about aliens and the flat Earth. Although I was rather surprised to see that there was actually some seriousness behind the we must declassify the UFO files. Okay. But yeah.
Well, of course there are UFO files.
Well, yeah.
The unidentified flying objects, there's plenty of them.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't mean they're from another world.
Right. No, they're time travelers.
It's the dragons.
Or the dragons, yep.
We have to let them out for exercise.
Yeah, probably community post. That's how. Yes, Liz raised a good point.
Well, you can do a vote in the actual chat.
Put a 1 in the chat, that sort of thing?
No, you can do a proper vote.
Oh, yeah. All right, let me look at that while I'm thinking about it. Let me actually not do that where I can't see what's going on. Let me go over here. We'll open this back up. Why not? Channel.
And if you go to this live that's currently going on,
And let's kill the sound. So we don't have the echo, 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 echo.
you see the buttons at the bottom underneath the chat, or sometimes at the top, depending on how you have it set.
Let's see. Community participation, pop out chat, toggle timestamp. So that's not it.
You see where the super chat button is? You see there's a button next to it.
That's not it. Down here, engage with your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Start a poll.
Yep. There you go.
Well, let's see here. Let's put up a poll, see what happens. Hey, Carrie, welcome back. You're just in time to answer a poll.
There you go. It's running fine.
Yeah. All right. 100% of the audience, or whoever, how many people even voted, but 100% of the audience said it's a poll.
So you can literally have a poll, a straw poll of the audience.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
actually,
you can do it. You do it like a lot of them do it. Do a poll at the beginning and then a poll at the end, or even in the middle.
yeah. I had never, I mean, I've seen people put up polls. I had just not looked into it. I assumed maybe it was something after you monetized or something like that. But anyone can, I can do a poll anytime, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice. One thing though about this debate, I could be wrong, but I get the impression that at least half of the regulars that are in the side chat are from down under, quite literally, Australia or New Zealand or some such place, and about a third are probably, or 25% are actually from your neck of the woods, Dan, or Europe in general, and then the rest are Americans. So I don't know.
Schedule it at a time when on one of your days off.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking that we'd have to do this on a Friday or Saturday afternoon if we want to get, local audiences, so to speak. Yeah. I mean, would that work into your guys' schedule? A Friday or Saturday afternoon?
Saturday afternoon would be better for me, but I can make Friday work.
Okay.
I can make it work.
All right. I will look at a Saturday down the line. What do you do now, says Carrie. I don't know. Do about what? It's a national debate, should have international issues. Yeah. That is correct.
Should we invade Wales or not?
Bring it, bitches.
Wales, red or menace?
Yes.
All we're going to say is, if you feel like invading us, please remember to bring your own body bags.
Yeah. Well, the dragons will eat the invaders, so there won't be any bodies.
No, the dragons won't have a chance. You've got to fight Welsh women.
Kelly, I can barely keep up with American issues. You want me to memorize international shit?
I suppose there should be some.
I guess.
Oh, yeah. There definitely should be some national issues. I mean,
Yeah, usually there is. Yeah, trade
I-
Yeah.
and military
Trade.
and
NATO,
Yeah.
global
Yeah.
warming, I suppose.
yeah. I mean, that's I liked it was either Liz or Kelly that said go back, take a look at the actual presidential debates and see what the topics were, and lift a few from there, and then
Yeah.
the current issues and events too, of course. Um, Actually, well, that's an interesting idea. Um, a poll per question. That would be a lot of polls to be thrown up there, though. I don't know. I have to think about this. I mean, this is you guys are smart. You're good at writing jokes. You're good at coming up with topics. I leave the channel to you.
Oh God, no, not another one.
Oh no, I'm joking. Um, this is
Yes, Liz, you can be my debate manager. You're right. I need to remember that.
Wait,
So-
we're allowed debate managers?
Well, I do.
Yeah.
I'm Pope.
Who can I think of as the most bloodthirsty and ruthless bastard I know?
I can never vote in my own polls. That makes me sad.
Ah,
Both on the community page and here, I can't vote. Liz is an independent.
Yeah, so am I actually. I'm non-party registered in my own state.
Let's see. Always, yeah. We even have someone that actually understands the political process, which could be detrimental to the whole exercise.
no.
But yeah, I was I was actually thinking about that, Kelly, trying to remember how many of the questions that there were, and I couldn't remember if it was 10 or 15, but apparently it's even more. It's 20. Okay.
Usually, yeah, about
Yeah.
that. Although they don't always get to ask them all.
Right.
Right.
They ran out of time.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Seems like you guys have given me homework. In addition to the so I think I mentioned this a while back. I bought a couple of dunce caps and hats and things, and I was going to do a dunce stream. I wanted chili clips to use, and so it was painful to watch his streams. I had no idea that watching that much concentrated chili could be so painful.
Oh, it is.
That's
Yes.
why I wanted to go back to she made a couple chili comments. I wanted to riff off, but the conversation we were having here was so interesting. You guys were having that I didn't want to interrupt it. So, but yeah, I still want to do the dunce cap thing, but maybe I need to wait until Chilito's next round of victory laps for his lawsuits. Oh no!
You'll be waiting a long time for that.
Ooh,
June.
lawsuits.
In June,
Guess who's in court today?
who?
Chili.
Today he was in court.
No, today he is in court.
Oh,
The
today.
23rd.
Today is in today, May
Yeah.
23rd. Really, in Vegas?
California. Chili versus Blue Bacon.
Really?
One of the hearings is today.
I had completely lost track of that.
And of course, Deborah's trial started yesterday.
I had completely lost track of that. Wow. Okay. Well, there'll be topics.
And there was an update in the Ironton case yesterday.
Really?
What was that? What was that update?
That was the Ironton lot replying to Chile's protection order against discovery. Sorry, I can't even say it with a straight face. Yes, that's right. Chile filed a protection order against Discovery.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, what a
Well, yesterday the Ironton lot responded.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure those things
I'll
have
have to look that up.
but oh my god, that it was like, no, I'm not going to give you anything. Especially some of the questions that they were saying, hey, we want this information, makes sense. He's suing for damages, right?
Yeah,
So to
partly.
set damages, you need to know income, you need to know how hurt you were, because that was also one of his claims I seem to recall, that he was injured during his arrest, but never really specified anything. So,
Well, he has permanent injury from his arrest.
oh, permanent injury. Oh, so that's where the
Guess of what?
bad shoulder came from.
No, nerve
No.
damage.
Nerve damage.
Sounding familiar?
God.
Yes. Yes, it was the same nerve.
So we can't even come up with new injuries.
Nope.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
But the hilarious part is they put the cuffs on him in front in Ironton.
Oh, and he still got nerve damage.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And it destroyed his good reputation.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was my favorite part.
okay. Where? I'm barely aware of his antics before, but based on what I saw in Law Talk with Mike, he never had a good reputation. Where did he have?
Be fair, he had a really good reputation as a GHB dealer.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes. All right. That was now I was being unfair. I'm sorry, Cholito, if you come upon this stream. I was being completely unfair to you.
He has a good reputation of being a lol cow. So everybody laughs at him. So
Yeah.
This is true.
Are you feeling better overall, Carrie, though? I hope. So here's the response in opposition to motion for protective order.
Yep.
All
That's
right.
the one.
Hopefully you guys don't mind terribly. I want to look at this and get caught up a little bit, if I can at all.
well, most of their original questions were simply boilerplate questions that would ask in any lawsuit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was shaking my head at. It was so ridiculous. Let's see. Do I really want to go through this? This is correspondence that. Oh, this is correspondence that he was blowing way out of proportion. So let's not look at that. That's not what I want. Well, these are just the documents. Okay. Let's back up. 40 response. Let's see. Oh, here it is. There it is. Okay, I think. DeCastro. No, this is DeCastro's response. Okay, don't need to look at that again. Oh, way down here? No. Oh, maybe it's not here yet. I guess. Guess it's not here yet. The actual document.
No? Huh.
Well,
They're getting slow.
let me see. Maybe this is it. On May 15th, plaintiff filed motion for protective order. Oh, this is it. Okay. This is it. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, Carrie is dealing with a horrible infection as well. Damn it. What is it with hospitals these days? When I broke my leg 5 years ago, the major problem that happened, well, broke my leg, an infection was lurking for years, and I ended up with weeks on end getting only 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and the infection exploded, and I ended up in the hospital with this viral infection they couldn't beat, or whatever it was, until they brought in a specialist who said, "Oh, try this cocktail," and then that finally broke it. But what is it with infections? Although again, mine was, like I said, years ago at this point. But geez, it was horrible.
It's hospitals. There are lots of sick people there.
yeah. My leg swelled up and looked like rotting hamburger. It was horrible. Let's see. Plaintiff requested this court enter a protective order to stop defendant from participating in premature discovery that violates the federal rules of civil procedure in order to harass or unnecessarily burden the plaintiff. He wants to keep his personal information confidential.
Yeah, that's Chile's protection order, isn't it?
Yeah, they're just quoting it. They're refreshing us the bullshit that he filed. And so they're saying attaches plaintiff's motion. It's Exhibit 1. Let's see. Plaintiff's first set of written discovery is no longer pending. Can we get a quick summary here, maybe?
The first set of written discovery is no longer pending. As a result, plaintiff's motion against the Lawrence County defendants is moot.
Yeah, right here. Defendants first.
Yeah.
That's moot. Court may not adjudicate disputes that have become moot. So he's going through the same cycles he goes through in all of these cases. He files nonsense, and real attorneys step up and say, this is a waste of time. Plaintiff failed to follow the procedures set forth in this court's local rules and the judge's standing orders, and has not attempted to resolve alleged discovery disputes. Yeah. Thus, his motion to be denied. This is hilarious. Judge Barrett's standing order provides the following regarding discovery motions. All caps. This court does not permit discovery motions.
Yep.
Oh, this is a replay of his thing with the Kate Peter case, where the judge said, "Don't do this," and Chile did it. I still don't know why she didn't bring the hammer down on him. After this exchange, so yeah, here it is that he never made any effort to address the conflicts in the, which he even said himself that he'd never responded to their interrogatories. Lawrence County defendants for a set of written discovery requests do not cause annoyance, embarrassment, oppressions, or other undue burden. As a result, plaintiff is not entitled to a protective order. Yeah, it's like Phil said. A lot of those questions were boilerplate. They're necessary questions for what he claims that he wants. Is also not a reason for defendants to request plaintiff's social security number. Yeah, it's not. Amended complaint alleges plaintiff is a videographer, vlogger, and civil rights activist. See in context. That's not quite what it means, but yeah. Who has been publishing his recordings on social media. Plaintiff states the financial benefits of his postings have been an essential economic support for him. So yeah, his chest puffing and his braggery means that they should be asked. It's just stupid on the face of it.
We need to use proper legalese here, Steve. Puffery.
There you go. That's what we're looking for. Lastly, tax returns are not categorically privileged from disclosure in the Sixth Circuit. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Right? No, your tax return is not private when you're trying to get money out of people.
Nothing is private when you're trying to sue the federal government.
Yeah.
Or trying to sue the state government in a federal court.
Right. Yeah,
Well, and you have to prove damages, right? How do you prove damages? Uh,
right. I mean,
I,
loss of wages, injury.
loss of income.
Yeah, and asking for doctor reports and hospital stay records. I mean, that nothing of that is unreasonable, given his claims. But
Although
my
I did like the fact that they kept putting in there about whether he'd had psychological exams.
Yeah, I know. That was pretty good too.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
If he says no, the obvious question they're going to come back is why not?
yeah, yeah. Parties may
Well,
again, a federal rule of civil procedure. Parties may generally seek discovery of any relevant non-privileged information. Yep. And oh my gosh, okay, this is just such a joke. Um,
Well, it shows you just how little Chile knows about how lawsuits work.
yeah, yeah, and I've heard him several times say that it's been a learning experience. I'm learning so much. Well, that's why you hire attorneys, and you hire real attorneys, not YouTube attorneys. Although I suppose there might be a YouTube attorney or two that Chile could find that might know what they're doing. But then they would tell him that, well, the reaction I have to all of the cases that he files and the people that he encourages to file cases, if they had a case, they could go to an attorney and he would take it.
Yep. They
I mean,
like getting paid, attorneys.
Yeah. Yeah. When many years ago,
okay.
I thought I had a case, went to an attorney, and he told me point blank that I didn't have a case, but he would write a letter for me to see if he could scare the people. And he would just do that for free, and maybe that would scare them into giving me into covering part of my medical bills, etc. And I said, nah, if you think there's no case, let's not waste your time. Um, so yeah, I'm sorry, Phil. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I have a friend that is a corporate attorney, and we've talked about various sort of frivolous lawsuits. And he's always pointed out to me that any attorney that will not take it on contingency doesn't think you can win.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So my guess is Chile could get an attorney, but he's going to be paying an hourly rate.
Oh, yeah, you'll get an attorney. You'll find an attorney, probably some ambulance chaser who'll take any case, so long as you're paying.
Yeah. Uh-oh. My web root just kicked in. Oh, just a generic scan. Okay. Don't care.
Yes, honestly, Phil is not hacking your system as we speak.
No. I did not get those pictures off of your camera. No.
Yeah.
They're not embarrassing at all, Steve. At all. No. Lots of men
Like
have
you
that
later, How
problem.
flexible you are, Steve.
Yeah, very agile for a fat guy. Yeah.
Would have never have guessed that you were into ballet.
Oh.
Those heels are flattering on your calves.
Yeah. My phone wants to invade, not evade. Yep. And yeah, probably Liz is right with him. He probably could find no attorneys with California bar approval. Yeah.
No, this one would be Ohio.
Yeah, Iron Chin's Ohio. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that case when Blue Bacon and/or Chile hop on their channels and declare victory. I guess if Chile goes on and rages, we'll know how it went.
Well, no, Chile will go on and declare victory even if he's lost.
Yeah, probably.
It's what he usually does.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Dismissal is a victory, or
No, dismissal wouldn't be a victory. Dismissal would be a loss for Chile. It's Chile's case.
Oh yeah, but no, I mean, sometimes when he declares victory, it's been either it's been stayed or it's been dismissed, or I'm trying to think of the exact time he was doing that. Where, oh yeah, and right here, the courts will lie.
Yeah, the
Mm,
judge was corrupt.
yeah.
Uh,
They violated their oath because they wouldn't take my evidence.
Oh yeah, that nonsense. Um,
oh, you mean when he accidentally submitted to them the wrong evidence?
No, in Virginia or Massachusetts, when he was trying to get that protective order, and he had Joe there to hand the court papers, and the court was like, "You needed to submit that well in advance,
Yeah,
taking it now." And
I
then
meant the
he
one
was,
where he tried to do it in. I think that was Massachusetts too, where again a protection order against Kate, and he was there with the laptop, and he
Yep.
accidentally showed the wrong file to the judge, and it was the one with Kate and Law Talk with Mike, and it was where they were going through of this is how it breaches, and this is how much trouble Chile's in, and this is how you've done nothing wrong.
yeah,
So
Right.
that got played to the judge of a lawyer actually explaining how none of what Kate had done was wrong.
right.
yeah, yeah. The actually the two things I've seen of him in court, both times I had the thought that he thinks, it's my impression at least, that he thought that Perry Mason was an accurate representation of courtroom procedures,
Uh-huh.
and
Right.
and that yes, you can just pull something out at the very last minute, and uh,
Which
the
you
judge,
can actually do, but the judge will not be fucking happy about it, and this shit had better be good.
right, yeah, yeah, but yeah, and maybe he needs to watch actually some of the real courtroom procedures on YouTube, because you'll have the judges constantly trying to explain to the pro se people that there are procedures, and the procedures are there for a reason, and you need to follow them. Um, but yeah, too many people, and I think this goes for Mr. DeCastro, think television is reality or close to reality, which it's not.
No. Also, he seems to do remarkably poorly when there's a female judge.
Well, yeah, he talks down to him. Yeah, it's something that I is some again a pattern that I'm starting to see, and it just blows my mind. Um, so many of the people seem to have egos that are a little too big for their accomplishments. Seem to have also issue with women.
Yep.
Seem to be so sexist that it just makes my jaw drop. As you know, I'll admit I'm probably not the more of a probably not the most liberated guy, or whatever the proper word is for that. Maybe I have my sexist moments, but holy crap.
Yeah, but I'm guessing one of your sexist moments did not involve publicly making the statement that women shouldn't be in the police force.
No, it definitely would not, because
And I'm sure it's not calling every woman you meet an authority ponytail.
yeah, yeah. No, I have friends and family that would tase or shoot me. So,
Or both.
or both, yes.
That might be a fun Saturday stream.
No.
I've tased him, I don't feel any better. Now I'm going to shoot him.
Shoot him. We'll
Uh,
make sure they use beanbag rounds.
well, no, still a no.
He thought about it for a minute.
We could use a hornet's nest.
You almost got me there, but no.
Phil, they could use a hornet's nest.
Sure, right?
No.
You know what those are, though, don't you, Steve?
I'm actually trying to remember, and I
Riot control grenades that fire beanbag little bouncy balls at you.
yeah, I was trying to remember whether they were a gas dispersing or that, and I just could not recall. But yes, one shot and you.
They're literally a grenade. You throw them, you pull the pin, you throw them in the room.
Yep.
Run
Yep.
very, very, very far.
Yep.
Because those balls will just, no, it's not fun.
Yeah. Actually, this whole thing, I did catch that on your stream. I didn't catch it when I was running the coded versus Tina Slay bit here, but when you guys replayed it, when he called her sweetie or honey.
Honey and then love.
Yeah. She got hot, and
most women don't like random strangers calling them honey or love.
Right. Yep. And when actually, I had a moment about when I was listening to Tina Slay talking live in a live chat, and she was talking live, and it just struck me that okay, so now replaying this would be. I think we get Tina Slay to come and comment again. We can get a real kind of Inception thing going.
Oh, we can do the whole universe-ending paradox thing.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that too, where you had your screens going into infinity.
It's the only way I could show what would appear on the screen. Because, so many people in the audience don't do streams, so they don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not a matter of opinion. It literally tells you at the top of the screen that the host has muted you.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that you could. Well, I know I can see it. I didn't realize it. Well, I guess you guys can see if I muted you, right?
Yeah.
Like right now.
Yes.
But I wouldn't be able to tell if you muted Phil.
Right. I mean, I just muted Phil, but Phil can see he's muted, I'm sure.
He just can't tell us.
Yeah. There he is. He's now back.
And I'm not very happy about it, Steve.
Silence, guinea pig.
Oh, yeah. He did. Like heard him do that and went, oh, again. I pictured some friends of mine, relatives of mine, and how they might react if they were already in a negative confrontation with somebody and they did that. Yeah.
Although it was hilarious how he didn't start getting really aggressive about Tina till after Tina was no longer there.
Right.
Yeah.
With the truly disgusting stuff he was going on about grifting for fame and fortune.
Yeah. Off of it. Yeah.
Well, again, from my
coded, if you're watching, fuck you.
All hail the Jelly God.
Actually, I guess I have to say, from my perspective, the absolute worst thing he did was say, "Come up, I will mute myself and let you speak and let you say your piece." And then he didn't mute himself. In fact, he wouldn't even let her get a sentence out. I have a hard time, knowing when to, start talking when, reading with you guys are done talking, or sometimes I'll jump in. But for God's sakes, if Phil or you or Phil and I or Dan and I were having a disagreement, I would, and if I said, okay, you're mad, I know you're mad, you told me you're mad, you mean to speak your piece, and if I promised I'd silence myself, I would silence myself and I would let you talk. And then if I thought you were done talking, I would, turn myself back on and say, well, it would probably be me saying, "Are you done?" which would sound horribly rude, but I don't know how else to put that. But yeah, that to my mind, that was the worst of what he did, because he was being a bad host, for one, um, doing a disservice to both himself and his audience, I think. Again, I just can't get a read on that guy, whether he thinks he is some sort of insult comic that he's just bad at it, or does he think he is someone that people will listen to for his intelligent commentary.
He thinks he's special. I think he had one too many participation trophies.
I think he thinks he's imparting wisdom in some way. I think that's what he believes.
Yeah, you
He's
can
doing
simulate interference to screw with people's connections.
I'm sorry, what?
You can simulate phone line interference so that it will make it sound like someone's having a bad connection. Then you mute them a couple of times and then kick them. There you go, not your problem. It was completely not my doing, see? I'm innocent.
Yeah. That was, well...
Except he didn't use the interference thing. He just kept muting her.
And I could be wrong, but when at least from what I'm hearing at my end, when there's connection problems and someone is about to go out, they start sounding robotic and staticky, and then they drop.
Yep.
At no point did Slay sound robotic or staticky or anything. She just went silent in mid-sentence and then came back. And in fact, the whole way that she was cut off, again, that's not how it sounds.
No, it's not.
I've had enough bad connections, and I've heard enough bad connections through the computer to know that it's almost like a stutter before it cuts out.
And then, Kelly, his phone line ringing would make no difference. That'd only screw with his connection to StreamYards, not her connection to StreamYards. Because remember, StreamYards isn't software you run on your own PC. It's a website you log into.
Okay. But yeah, I guess that would be the way to put it.
But yeah, he was just playing games.
Yeah. Which, again, I don't understand. If he
didn't expect her to come up there and be so vehement that he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's my take on it. I think he had an idea in his head how it was going to go, and it was completely different.
Okay. Guy said the app.
Yeah, it is, but it wouldn't affect with what happened with Tina that time. It's because of how StreamYards works, which is the software Coded's using.
Wow. Yeah, I shouldn't be sitting here being judgmental of another YouTube host, but
yes, you should. That's part of what you do.
Well, yeah. But I have to put, again, I've been doing this for 6 months, and I don't know how long he's been doing it, but No, it was no. Actually, just on every level, that was just rude and inconsiderate and just bad form. Any which way you look at it. Hell,
Yep.
even if he was if he was going for sort of a oh, I'm gonna really date myself here, but Morton Downey Jr.
hmm
Style style talk show and hosting. Even with on that level, that was such bad form. Um, oh, and oh my God, the dead air. Jesus.
He's a master at it.
At dead air, yeah.
Yeah.
That's um again in college and a little bit before that, I played around with the idea of being worked in radio, and when I was at PBS, the person I was working for there, she had a weekly movie review little talk show on on one of the local stations. And so one of the things that when I'm doing this, have in the back of my mind is, okay, dead air is bad. You need to fill the space with something. So again, bad form that because when I was running it the other night and it was just silence, I kept clicking saying, "Oh, did I pause it? No, I didn't pause it. Just he is not doing anything or saying anything, or it just
Yeah.
it blows my mind."
But what gets me is how he tries to go on about being such a professional. Well, I've got all these people on my team and they're high level. It's like, no. If you had these people, they would be jumping out of windows going, I ain't working with this fuck.
Yeah, all Dalmatians, how much did Tina get? She got nothing. That's what I seem to have been able to
Yep.
glean.
I don't understand going after Tina. If
I
simply
don't.
for if you have any empathy at all, was murdered. Let her say whatever she wants.
Well, even if you take it back to a more egotistical point of view than that, all right? Our community being the way it is. Tina is basically the talisman of the community.
Right.
What the hell would you want to attack that for? Because you know what's going to happen. Everyone else is going to bitch slap you for it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
purely from a self-serving point of view, why would you want to do that? I know what his defense is going to be, that I goaded and manipulated him into it. Because apparently, as well as being an idiot, dead, broke, rich, living in God knows where, and in a mental institution, I am also a diabolical mastermind.
And near death. Don't forget, near death.
Oh yeah, near death as well.
Yeah, and again, there's no goading. But no, he says that's what's happened, but ignore it. That's end of story. Okay, so you guys say "fuck you" coded on your stream, and otherwise make fun. And if he just ignores you, it's when again, maybe there's some dynamic I'm not grasping, but it just seems the way to deal with hecklers is you either shut them down or you just ignore them and keep doing what you're doing. And you guys are heckling, and you're heckling in another room.
Yeah.
Which is even which is even more. Don't acknowledge it, and it doesn't impact what you're doing.
But he can't let go.
Yeah.
Well,
He's convinced he's winning, whatever that means.
right. And the other thing is, it's not like Coded is restreaming Dan at the time. So you have to do your show, go back and listen to what was said on Welsh News Network, and then comment show.
Yeah.
The amount of time involved in this is why?
Well,
Yeah.
literally, while we were live, he was running over to Fraudita Wrangler's live, where Corrections 101 was, desperately trying to tell Corrections 101 that we were talking about him.
Yeah, I saw that actually.
And it's like, yeah, okay. And you don't think Corrections was going to see it and was going to do his response exactly like we thought he would?
I'm just a fan, and I
don't
haven't.
understand. Oh, sorry, Phil.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just a fan, right? I bounce around from channel to channel. I haven't been involved in this end of YouTube all of that long. And here's two things, or two people I know you don't go after. Tina Slay and Mrs. Schrodinger's cat.
Yep.
And if I know that, I have to imagine you creators know this.
Well, literally, he'd been getting emails and messages since he put up the day before's one saying he was going to go after Tina, telling him, don't do this. And these were from people in his own group, from his own side of the fence, if you like, telling him this is a bad idea.
Hey, Sumi, I just want you to know, I did not talk bad about you or Sue Bear, no matter what Dan says. I did not do that.
He did sue me. He said he wasn't afraid of the Sues and they were a bunch of overrated old bats.
That's not what I said. Sumi left and he didn't come back. We wouldn't be besties.
I think this is the point at which
Steve said enough.
Steve's like, yep, nope, I'm out of this. Bye.
You wanted drama, Steve.
Good night, all.
But no, I've noticed there's a pattern with all these idiots. They always box themselves into a corner where, from the audience, in order to maintain their audience, they can never ever back down. I can go on the air tomorrow and announce I am never going to cover Coded again, and my audience will go, okay.
Yeah.
If Coded made the same thing, they'd be like, why? You said he was the most evil thing on the world. You said he was going to be the next Chili. You said, so how can we trust anything else you say? Because obviously you're not in to this properly because you're no longer prepared to cover. And they all do it to themselves. They back themselves into this corner where a combination of their audience and their own ego won't let them get out of it.
Yep.
I never understand that. It's why would you do that to yourself?
Yep. I actually, well, again, maybe this is just me being optimistic on his behalf, but I'm thinking that maybe DeCastro finally learned that lesson.
No.
No.
He seems like he's gotten more careful with his proclamations.
Oh God, no.
No? Okay.
No. Jesse, no one should be a no-go area, but there are certain people you have to handle with respect and courtesy. And if you don't, the community will let you know they're pissed off.
No. And even if it was just like just some random person that he had stepped on, again, the behavior that he exhibited was just beyond rude.
Personally, I'd never treat a guest that way when they came on my show.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I view it as you're a guest in my home.
Yep.
That's why I don't tend to have people I dislike come up. Because I don't like it. Why would I want someone I don't like in my home?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I turn you away at the door. I don't invite you in.
And why give them airtime too? That's exactly it. I mean, well, and again, Tina Slay was responding to what? Well, he put her name on his thumbnail. I mean,
Yeah. But it gets even more ridiculous what started all of this with Tina and him. He was on one of my shows back in the day. Tina came up. He asked us to put him in contact with Tina, so we gave him Tina's email address. And he emailed Tina, and they emailed backwards and forwards, and eventually she went on a couple of his shows. He then, when he fell out with us and started having this feud and blah, 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 decided to try and claim he didn't know who Tina was. And she called him out for it. That's what started it, was literally he tried to claim he didn't know someone who had been on his show with him.
okay, and it was relatively recently, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 8 days ago.
I mean, no, that she had been on his show, and then
Oh, no. A while ago, she'd been on his show, but it was 8 days ago he tried to claim he had no knowledge of
oh
it.
yeah, that I was aware of, but
He's only been doing
Okay.
his show
you
since
know what?
mid last year. It's not even been 12 months.
Yeah, I have to, as I said that, because again, my knee-jerk reaction is to try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but it just, she's like Dan, like you said, Dan, she's a figure in this community, and I just see myself, yeah, if I had interviewed someone like that and had them, even if and I'm the host of the show that she's on, yeah, I would not, I would remember the name, and I remember, yeah,
It was a,
even if it was,
considering his channel size and everything, this was a big time guest. This is an A-list celebrity guest to get on your panel
mm-hmm.
to do a one-to-one interview with. This is big time.
Yeah.
And what is she talking about? Right, the death of her child.
Yeah.
Right.
And
How
how
were you
Chile
going
tried to exploit that.
Yeah, and so how are you going to forget that?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There are certain people who every creator who does Chile stuff would love to get on their show. There's certain people that you'd love to get on your show. In the top 3 has to be Tina Slay.
Yeah.
The other one is his ex-girlfriend, the one with the restraining order against him, the one who blackmailed for the 50 grand. Everyone would love to get her, but she won't come on anybody's show.
Oh, yeah.
Which is fine, but again, it's one people would love to get. The other one would be a member of his family.
Yeah.
Those are the big 3 that you want to get, that you'd sell your eye teeth to get on your show. So if you get one, you don't bloody forget that you've got one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just nonsense. I don't understand why he did it and why he kept doubling down on it.
Yeah. Hey, Honest Abe, welcome, welcome.
And yeah, Liz, there are so many being called on their bullshit. But it's depressing to me how many of them lately have been on our side, the anti-frauditor side of the fence. That's what I find depressing.
Me too.
Is since when did we start doing that shit?
Yeah,
If we're going to use the frauditors' tactics to go after the frauditors, then we may as well just fuck off home and stop doing this shit. Call it a day now. Because at the end of the day, what have we done? Replace the frauditors with another group who behave exactly the same fucking way. How's that better? What was the point?
Yeah.
We all got into this because, in essence, we were pissed at the way they were doing things. Be it like you, Steve, with the whole trying to silence people. Me, I just don't like bullies. But we all have a similar. There's always that reason why we got into it. So if we become those things, then what's the point?
Yeah. I'm actually, one thing I was thinking about how people were saying that they got drawn, they went over the line, they got drawn into it, they kind of lost their way, whatever the various rationales have been, and why so many of them are reacting. Not, well, violently is the wrong word, but so out of proportion, I guess, in my mind. Yeah, Honest Abe, I was hoping to get into that. We might still. I don't know. It's getting kind of late. We stray down to more serious topics, but even for me, one reason why at least I could think this, I would never start doing the doxing and all the others and threatening all the other stuff they do. This is for fun, and B, if Chili and all those guys get abducted by Area 51 aliens tomorrow, it will be, hey, let's talk about this weird comic book that I have, to like 3 people. So, because
Plus, you'd like to be able to, look yourself in the eye in the mirror in the morning and not feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah. But he's no longer living though. Uh-oh.
Or maybe he is, and they just replaced him with a replicant that died. It's a pod person.
That Area 51, that certainly could be. I wouldn't doubt it. Wait. A hot sauce factory?
Wait, no, screw the hot sauce factory. There are bases with brothels.
Yeah.
I got screwed on my deployments.
Yeah, actually, again, when I was a kid, I visited naval stations and air bases and such. Yeah, well, I was a kid. Maybe that's why. But yeah, no one ever mentioned brothels or anything. So
maybe that was in one of those areas they told you couldn't go.
Yeah. Actually, one of my most cherished memories actually is going to an air base in Denmark in the fog. We just gotten there, and we're going out to visit someone that had served with my father, and we're driving along. Oh, there's the gate. We go through the gate, and suddenly that swerves the car around, goes speeding back to the direction. We ended up on one of the runways because they had left the back gate open to this airfield. It wasn't the road; it was the runway, and he noticed something over there. And yes, Jesse, I am gonna do another Flapper Fanny strip. I need to get a few more with the taglines taken off the bottom, and we'll be getting back to that because I need more jokes from you people. In fact, I'm gonna I was gonna put up the swimsuit one this past Friday, but I got distracted, and so it's going up this Friday with a bunch of your jokes. So if you haven't sent me your email and you gave me jokes that night, you really need to, so I can, give you a free book if you want one, of your choice, of course. Groom Lake. Wilmy Shatner did a movie about Groom Lake. The aliens being trapped there.
Were they Vulcans?
Nope, they were not. They were more your standard grays. Was that I'm trying to remember if that was a full moon thing or not. Let me see. Groom Lake. Shat. Amy Acker was in it. I forgot about that. Who was the producer? And Dick Van Patten was in a very small role, but he was also in it. 2002. Was this Charles Band or not? No, but it was J.R. Bookwalter who was his company was funded partially by Band as shadow executive producer. So yeah, now I'm talking about movie industry trivia that nobody cares about. But yeah, Shadow Entertainment was basically Band. But yeah, what was so amusing about this particular airbase is that the U.S. personnel stationed there were Navy. Well, there's Navy flyers and such, but the joke that it was close to a lake, so the joke was that there was a submarine in the lake, which is why the Navy people were there. But it was a listening post. This was back in the 80s. Cold War and all that.
Yeah.
Because
I
Denmark.
must admit, I have occasionally thought about buying one of the old missile bunkers.
Yeah. I actually saw one. Where was that? I saw one for sale, is what I mean, which was kind of surprising to me. You could actually buy one of these places.
Yeah, there used to be one for sale on YouTube.
Oh, really? I'm trying to remember where the heck I saw that. But yeah, that would be a fun place to live. Upkeep would probably be a pain in the ass, but it would be fun to live there.
As long as you keep the pumps going to keep the water out, you're fine.
Yeah. But yes, more flat.
And the pumps to pull the air in might be a good idea, I suppose.
Yeah. Would also help a little bit keeping the place dry. But yes.
Well, Dan has dragons, so they can just dry it out.
Just boil the water off.
Breathe in the missile silos, dry it right out. Yeah. Oh. But yes. I mean,
although I should be careful about using too many Games of Thrones references. I think I might get in trouble.
Well, they'll sail right over my head because
I've never seen a single episode.
I have not. And
I must admit, I haven't seen many, but one of the clips I saw was when the dwarf character was complaining about how there was no gods of tits and wines, which is where witches' things about being the goddess of tits and wines comes from.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
thought, yeah, he's got a point, actually. There's all these gods about I'll kill you, I'll do this, I'll do the other. But yeah,
yeah. I actually didn't even get through the first book. I was starting to read it. I was warned about reading it from someone that had the same reaction I did. I forget how far I was in, but I was reading it, liking the character, and then he killed off a character.
well, from what I understand, it's basically written even worse than the show. It's as porn for teenagers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I ended up just throwing the book across the room and never went back. But Sumi, it seems like
Let's see, if you were reading the book and you hated it in that because they killed off a character, that's probably Ned Stark then.
yeah. At this point, I don't remember. It's been
I think he's the first one they. Oh no, they kill off the king first, but no one likes him.
time. But it was a character that okay, this is the main character, and I was reading along, and what the hell? I'm done with this. Yeah, could have been Ned Stark. I don't recall anymore. But yeah, Sumi, you're having the reaction to it that about half of my friends did. They loved it, except for I think the last season and the latter part of the second to last season.
All I'm going to say is, yeah, I think they managed to have a worse ending than Dallas with the whole she was in the shower and dreaming.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Because that ending seemed to piss off a lot of people for months. All you heard was fucking bastard, gonna kill them all.
Yeah, it was a running joke for a long time. The yep, I woke up in the shower. At least in my circles, that was a joke that hell, it still comes up every so often.
Yeah.
With people of a certain age. But I mean, as far as She Wants Dragons, I like dragons. I worked on Dragonlance. It was
Dragons are awesome.
one of my favorite things. And when I run D&D games, dragons usually D&D being Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a big fat geek. Dragons actually feature kind of heavily, and that reminds me well, it's past now, but there was a part of a world called Mystara. Danagoth is this nation, and I didn't realize this when I started reading it because one of the other holes in my education is Lord of the Rings. I had not read Lord of the Rings until early 2000s.
What?
Yeah. I when we were leaving England, I had a pocket full of change to spend. So I'd been hearing good things about this Lord of the Rings stuff. So I spent the rest of my money, the change, because you couldn't convert that at banks.
Only notes.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
So I bought the Silmarillion, I bought the Hobbit, and I bought this omnibus of the 3 Lord of the Rings books. And I was told that I said, well, so what order to read these in? And I said, well, chronologically, it's the Silmarillion, the Hobbit, and then the third books. But you probably want to start with the Hobbit. And I said, no, chronologically is how I'm going to read this. So I'm going to read the Silmarillion. And I think I was 14, maybe 13, something like that. I loved the Silmarillion. I thought it was the coolest damn thing. And then okay, the Hobbit. And I got a couple chapters in and it says, wow, this is dumb. And never went back. Then I got hired at a company called TSR, fast forward to the 90s now. And, good night, Kelly. Story time with Steve. Put you to sleep if you keep listening. So fast forward to the mid 90s. I go to work at TSR. And when they're doing, I don't know how many gamers I have in the audience, but TSR published Dragonlance, D&D, were a big deal at one point. And fans would literally come for tours of the building. and we walked through the bullpen while the writers were sitting and editors were sitting, and a couple of my colleagues made my cube. Well, first my office and my cube as a stop on the tour. And here's the guy that has never read Lord of the Rings. I was working for this fantasy publisher, and yeah, I had never read Lord of the Rings. And when I was on panels, again, one of my colleagues just loved bringing that up, and I had to explain why I never read Lord of the Rings, and well, because it bored me. But then now, the end of the story is that they had to pay me to read Lord of the Rings, because I got approached to work on the Lord of the Rings role-playing game. And then I felt obligated. Okay, if I'm going to be working on this thing, I better actually know what it is. Can't just use the movies as cliff notes. Got to read the books. And even then, I tried to cheat, because I still have those books that I bought in England on a shelf out in the living room. But oh god, this is boring me. I've got to write up this thing about the Barrow-wights. I know they're in this part of the book, but god damn it, I can't find them. There's all this stupid poetry, all these dumb songs. So I kept skipping the section, couldn't find them. So they have these indexes to Lord of the Rings. And I have something about Dugway Proving Ground in a moment here, Abe. But this index I bought wasn't keyed to. It was keyed to an American edition of the Lord of the Rings omnibus, not the British one I had. So it got me close to where the Barrow-wights were supposed to be. So, but where are they? Oh god damn it! I got to read all of this stuff. And even though they were supposed to be a big deal in the role-playing game, supposed to be a big deal, they were a big deal in the movie. If you've read the books, I'm sure you know that the Barrow-wights are mentioned in one single paragraph, in between the dumb songs I kept skipping. That's when I realized, okay, god damn it, I can't be lazy and cheat it. I have to actually read the books. So yeah.
To be honest, the songs do go away though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're just in that one section. Who is the guy? Tom Bombadil. He's one that's singing the songs. But yeah. So that's the story of me actually. They had to pay me to read Lord of the Rings, and I've read worse books. I'll admit that. The one thing I will. Okay, this whole point of this story was that I developed as part of Mystara being governed basically by black dragons and elves in a sort of a union of convenience, failing to totally realize that it had been set up to kind of be a version of Mordor, even to the point where they had the ring wraiths running around. I just didn't recognize what the guy was ripping off when I went in and started working on that. But that whole thought came because I just remembered that a D&D fan asked whether I would send him my notes for all that stuff, because since the line was canceled before I got to exploit my own home game and get paid for my home game. But
would it have been cancelled mainly for large breaches of international copyright and fear of they're going to get sued to oblivion?
No. The D&D and Mystara line got canceled because the numbers just weren't there. They were the game called Advanced Dungeons and Dragons was making more money, and so they wanted to devote more resources into that. So even though I came to TSR all gung-ho about working on my favorite game and my favorite setting, the main scheduler of what our creative schedules were going to be, told me, nope, sorry, that line is dead. We've got one more product coming out, so you're going to be working on. We're going to have you write a bunch of line Bibles initially, and then I'll find something for you to do. They weren't called ring wraiths or anything like that. but it was a nation surrounded by mountains, populated by evil people, governed by this mysterious uh, overlord that lived in a distant castle, evil witch king, and then he had these guys riding around on horses. So
Oh, so
yeah,
it was set in the UK.
he said in the
It
UK,
was
yeah,
it was set, I was going to say it was set in Wales, but
yeah, yeah. And
it
there was
sounds
one
like a
dragon.
guy I know.
Yeah,
What?
there was one dragon
I
living
do
in the
not
lake.
live in a castle.
Yeah, there was one dragon living in a cave on a lake, and that to me turned into okay. Uh, they are, there are many dragons, and they help run the country. So yeah, yeah. Dugway Proving Ground. I lived up the highway from there in Salt Lake City. Well, quite a distance up the highway, but went out there a couple of times. Just shoot off some handguns. So that's my Dugway Proving Ground story. But no, I'm aware of it. But Area 52, that's cute. Is that really what it's called? Now I'm curious. Why is Dugway called Area 52? Despite assurances there's a huge cloud of mystery over Dugway? I had no idea there was a huge cloud of mystery over Dugway.
I thought Dugway was just where they took lots and lots of big guns and let them have fun.
Yeah, interesting. All the crazy, disturbing stuff that's gone down at Dugway. For
Hi,
decades.
Steve. What were you up to?
Yeah, I don't know. Let me find out. Let's see. Thousands of sheep perished near Dugway in '68. Uh-oh. That was the year I was born. All right, we found our conspiracy.
Yep, they slaughtered the sheep to mark your birth.
Yep. Let's see. They don't say what month. They just say in '68, testing for a chemical weapon called VX.
Well, yeah, okay, that'll explain why thousands of sheep died.
Yeah. Considering the test was done in the air with planes spitting out drops of nerve agent into the wind.
What?
Yeah, that's what the risk seems seem obvious in retrospect. The dangerous chemical apparently got swept away amid strong gusts and blew into the near farmland in Skull Valley, which, with a name like that, it seems tragically ironic. After a few days, between 4,000 and 6,000 sheep were dead. The military refused to accept blame, but still coughed up money to compensate the angry farmers. Okay.
Yeah, that would do it. VX gas, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even in '68, you would think they would have realized that.
Yeah, VX is yeah, it's lethal.
I mean, that had
Yeah.
been around since the '40s, right? Or am I misremembering here?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
I'm
yes.
not.
Yeah, the jury is good.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of Nazis, yeah. Unseen records of Dugway experiments were released in 2016, including tests to make mosquitoes into weapons. All right. So
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Let's see. So Muckrock founder, Muckrock.com founder Michelle Morrissey retrieved a gold mine of information through a lot of through Freedom of Information requests. A lot of far out research, the James Bondy sort of stuff we see. He told Fox News 13, which we both. A lot of Fox News 13s around because there's one in where I'm living now, and there was one in Salt Lake City. They must just like the 13. A lot of stuff that's never been made public. This is interesting. Yeah, I've been out there and I didn't realize that like Honest Abe says that it's the Army's version of Area 51.
Well, it's not really.
Yeah, humans were experimented on at Dugway.
Yeah.
Um,
It's America, really? You're gonna what?
when it comes to chemical biological
You guys doped an entire town with LSD and didn't tell anyone just so that you could observe what happened.
An engineer claims his company contracted by Dugway have flying saucer technology. Flying saucer in quotes. Oh yeah, well this I knew. Oh yeah, yeah. That you just anywhere where you're shooting off weapons and testing them, there's unexploded ordnance. They've even found that they've even had problems with that at Fort Lewis here out in Washington. Um, oh, on May 8, a local man named Joseph Bushing, this is 2011, was driving away from Dugway at 4 a.m., something that, according to a friend of his, wasn't too unusual. This time, however, Joseph never returned home. On the day of his disappearance, he left a strange voicemail for Herman Herrera, a former lieutenant of Special Operations. It's Bushing. I need a ride. All right, talk to you later. That was the voicemail. And then he called back. He sounded frantic. His car was found empty about 65 miles away from the main entrance to Dugway a week later. His hat and shoes were also found nearby, but no sign of a body. There was no evidence of assault or that he'd taken his own life. It's unusual on many fronts, Tooele County Sheriff Frank Park told Fox News. Usually you can work back. Once you find the victim, you can work backwards and you get some solid answers. We never had a victim. So we have no idea and why we couldn't find him. So the aliens took him but left his boots behind. Or he was disintegrated by some laser beam, maybe? Joseph Bushling. There's a link to Joseph Bushling. It's something looking for missing people. Let's see. All right. Well, again, I shouldn't make fun of a guy who's missing. Probably has family, but we're talking about Area 51 and Area 52 after all. Area 54, wherever. Dugway is about as highly secured as Area 51 is. Yeah. But I know part of the reason why you can't wander around out there as much is you could blow up. Because, like I said, there's unexplored ordnance around. A man known as Alien Dave claims to have seen a plane disappear from the sky, discovered an underground fort in the side of one of the surrounding mountains, and even seen an electromagnetic beam blasting into space from the facility. That's locals claim to have seen UFOs and planes disappearing into thin air. Oh, am I too loud, Carrie? What's going on? What am I missing here in the side chat? Husband snoring is doing it? Well, yeah. Actually, I think not a lot of. Well, I don't know. I leave that to the other CIA people to cover up. CEO of a Dugway defense contractor claims he's been working on secret technology to take ET home, quote unquote.
Can they take Chili with them?
Yeah, that's probably who they're talking about, actually.
Christ, if they're all Tilly's level of intellect on his home planet, I fancy our chances.
Gary keeps dozing off. Well, I have been, saying that I should make some ASMR tapes to help people sleep. My ASMR car apparently was a big success until I started talking about dueling banjos. Um, this is something else that why. Well, I'm in two minds. Part of me is going, if some of these alien conspiracies were real, uh, people would speak out. Somebody would want to try to make money off of it at some point. But then also part of me is going, if you really were a defense contractor, even a former defense contractor, would you really talk about the secret projects you've been working on? I don't know.
Here's my take on it. We've been able to broadcast now at the speed of light since I think it was the 40s we started.
Yeah.
So we've managed to get 80 light years away. And you're going to suggest to me that a civilization millions of miles away that can transverse space would come to the Earth and go, yeah, them. I want to talk to them.
Yeah. Yeah, we are kind of full of ourselves. E.T. phone home.
I got that from Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? He put it out there. And he's like, a chimpanzee shares 99% of DNA and chromosomes with humans.
Yeah.
Right? And look how much smarter we are than them. Yet we don't really go, hey, let's go, converse with chimpanzees. Because they're just going to throw their species at you, right? So,
yeah.
So in order for them to have this technology, they have to be at least 1% smarter than us. Right? So reasons, why would they want to talk to us?
Well,
just throw feces at them.
To enslave us.
Yeah, to enslave us. If you read Battlefield Earth, another book that I had to get paid to read.
Oh dear God, that's an awful book.
Oh yeah. Here's a little known factoid. They were going to do a Battlefield Earth role playing game. They're going to do a series of articles in Amazing Stories with role playing game material, kind of as a primer to the eventual game. And I was going to do the game. I read the book and said, "Oh my God, Jesus Christ, this is bad." I hope they're only going to cover the part of the book that's in the movie, which was basically the first half, because I stopped reading at that point, because that's all I really need to know for the initial stuff. And I did one article for Amazing Stories, and then the people producing the film, because even before it hit theaters, somebody somewhere said, "This is a steaming pile of crap, and this is going to bomb. Let's not waste any more time and money on promoting this thing." And so, yeah, because they were going to pay for these articles in Amazing Stories. Essentially, they were basically ads, or they were licensed or something. Somehow they were going. There was some expense involved, and they told the editor of Amazing Stories to, okay, we are not going to publish. You are not going to produce any more of this. You've got the one article in the can, and that's all you're doing. But I did discover from reading the book that the aliens that in Battlefield Earth that came and blew humans back into the Stone Age were here for the gold. That's what they want on Earth. They want our gold. So there you go.
Why would they want an element that's not that uncommon in the universe?
Right.
I couldn't begin to tell you, but that's what they were here for, and they had tons and tons of it in their alien bases. I know there's a rationale in the book. I just don't recall what it was. But yeah, this says here, almost about to get into Area 51. I got out there because I knew people, and I have even as a kid, when I'm looking back, there are places that we were brought into that I'm surprised that we were in, and I wonder if we would even be allowed in there these days.
No,
Even as little kids, I don't think they'd let us in. But back
No.
then, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you've seen the change, Dan. But just things, just even Cold War, just things seemed like they were a little laxer than they are now.
well, yeah, because they were like we all lived with the threat that we're probably going to die tomorrow.
Yeah,
So stop sweating the small shit.
yeah, that could be. But so here, reporters were trying to get into Area 51. Says his experience was eye-opening, and then they quote him: "We entered the gates showing my Utah State Legislator press credentials, but we were told we still must check in with security to gain permission." Yeah, for the tour. While we were waiting to speak to Dugway's PR director, right here, if Chile and all the other frauditors were real journalists, that's who they would call first, the PR director,
Right.
of the police or whatever. We watched a group of men wearing bulletproof vests with handguns enter Dugway in their Ford excursions. Oh my God, people in bulletproof vests with handguns in a military base.
Right.
Oh yes, that is eye-opening. They appeared to be Army Special Forces. One man told me he was there for anti-terrorist training. Yeah. After a 30-minute wait, I was denied access because I had an unpaid parking ticket on my driving record. My colleague was denied because he wasn't an American citizen. After being escorted out by police, I began to wonder what really is going on there. I hate to break it to this guy, but I can think of, off the top of my head, 2 facilities where that would get you denied access, and nothing in particular is going on there that would be mysterious and alien related. Still sensitive, but not. And maybe
think of non-sensitive places where that would get you denied admittance.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of what I was driving.
There's also the problem of the second guy not being a U.S. citizen might just be a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, that was the one that I was mostly thinking about. But
also, pay your damn ticket, you cheapskating bastard.
yeah. And this right here, haha, needing credentials. Yeah, that's their claim. There are no such thing as press credentials. Yeah, there are.
Every state has a press association that will issue press credentials.
Yeah. I've had them from a couple of different outlets and operations. So yeah, here we go. 1998,
Okay,
a man named Jerry Freeman snuck deep inside Area 51 after he was at request to go in. So he used an Edgewood 49ers trail. Okay. He spent a good week inside and never got caught. Found water, etc. Yeah. A whole section of it is left off public accessible material. Is there a military base where that's not the case? And again, these places.
All right, we'll be honest with you. It was Phil's hatching ground, okay?
Damn it, Dan.
That's where I had to go and pick him up.
Said you're going to keep that a secret.
That is my mind.
That's it. I'm going on all the other shows.
He's allowed to change his mind.
That's it. I'm going on all the other shows talking about how you lied.
I don't care.
I think
you do that, and we'll hit you with the traditional curse of may your arse sprout boils.
Actually, this is kind of interesting. Looking at that again from Honest State, this is kind of interesting. That he could have. Well, it's huge. I mean, let me see if they. If I'm trying to remember that somebody mentioned to me, and they meant. Yeah, here it goes. It actually said in this article, it's the size of Rhode Island, basically. The area there. So I guess you could stay in, and if you are off in remote corners, nobody would find you. But and plus, yeah, you got the Salt Lake north of there. But this right here, well, you guys can't. This right here, you guys can't see what I'm looking at. I keep forgetting, but it's probably so small you can't see it anyway. But the test and training range is they don't let the public in there because there's probably unexploded.
They absolutely should let the public in there.
That would, well, some of the public.
They should let a mass.
Hey, it's called a live fire testing range for a reason.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
We should let a mass audit of the live fire range.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, it's kind of fun. It never occurred to me that you could spin these kind of tales about Dugway.
Of course you can.
Yeah, I know. It just it had never.
Look at the shit they spin about Fort Knox.
Yeah, yeah,
Remember, all the gold's been removed, and that's where they keep the aliens now.
yeah. They do the alien autopsies there that aren't done at Dugway. But yeah, just because I've been there is why it never occurred to me that it was secret stuff. But Dugway Proving Ground.
I give you a good one about a good urban legend about Fort Knox when I was growing up in the 70s. It was rumored that if you went to Fort Knox, they would let you lift up a brick of gold, and if you could pick it up with the top hand lifted shoulder high, they'd let you keep it. And people actually believe this.
Oh my. Okay. But yeah, see, like most other similar facilities, is also a place military personnel call home, and you've got houses and schools and stuff up here. Let's see, and both place to eat and place to exercise. Yeah, it never occurred there'd be a brothel though, but I guess I'm not shocked. You got army guys. But as some journalists and ufologists point out, much of the southern area, where the Air Force expanded into in 2004, is missing from the website. The section contains a runway thought to be big enough for a spaceship to land on.
Wait, how big of a runway does a spaceship need?
I wouldn't think very big. I wouldn't think very big.
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends on the spaceship. It's like, the day the Earth stood still, I mean, that one could probably land out in front of my house here without much issue.
Yeah, but how do they know how big of a runway a spaceship needs?
Right, yeah. I don't know. They know more than they're letting on, I think.
I think the conspiracy is what are these people who are writing about the conspiracy covering up?
Yeah. There has been money disappearing mysteriously from the government's defense budget for years. Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's called theft.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and yeah, that happens all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Theft, literally, I mean, yeah. Claims that
I'll give you. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no,
Sorry.
go ahead.
No, most of that stuff is civilians. And I'll give you an example of that. The last nuclear submarine they built, they spent $450 on human incendiary device disposal units. Now, that sounds like an important thing you might need on a submarine. In practicality, it's an ashtray on a submarine you can't smoke on.
Yeah.
So it's just simply incompetence from people who can't read or understand what they're paying for.
let's
And
see.
the ashtrays have to be made in a certain manner so that they don't blind the navigator if they break.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this has happened more than once that they've
What?
missed anthrax at Dugway. I remembered, well, as late as 2015, something happened apparently. Uh, Honest Abe is like he's full of neat things about Dugway. Are you from Utah, Honest Abe, or you just know things about Dugway? The sheep kill incident. That that was BX though. That wasn't. All right, this is just general. They just cut out the anthrax thing.
Yeah, the expensive hammers and toilet seats were just codes for Black Ops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The black budget is hidden in the middle of everything else, of course. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good idea they have. They just bung a couple of zeros on random items. And then they notice what the random items are and go, bollocks.
Yeah.
Plus, part of the reason they did it that way, of course, was to drive the Russians nuts.
Yeah.
Well, it was. It was trying to figure out what the hell they were actually spending the money on. They'd waste huge amounts of resources. Sometimes there were just typos in the official budgets they'd release.
Yeah.
Only on the press released versions, not on the ones they actually used.
Yeah, that's what I was about to mention. That some of that missing money is not actually missing money. It literally is a typo in information that
Well,
isn't budget.
would you call it a typo though if it's deliberate?
Well, I mean, if it's deliberate, no, but but no. What am I trying to say here? Brain is shutting down.
Some of it would have been hiding for other projects.
Yeah, no, definitely that's happening, and happened, and has always happened. Well, not always, I suppose, but ever since. Well, Sumi is out of here too. Oh, there we go. What is she saying? Good night, Sue. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Night, Jimmy. May the peace be with you.
Intentional typos exist. Well, yeah, the misinformation that Dan was referring to, and but there have been instances where it was just, yeah. According to DoD, had not fully identified the infrastructure capabilities required to address threats. Had not planned to. So that's just them saying why they're not. They are not putting it in reports because it's secret. But yeah, 2015, they had inadvertently shipped live anthrax to various places around the country. Oops. I thought you remember something earlier than that, but maybe I'm misremembering. And now I'm just thinking out loud. The oh my god particle. Oh, I remember this. Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been an interesting diversion. I actually had not seriously thought we'd be talking about aliens, kind of thing, and especially when my imagination is clearly limited because I never occurred to me. I need to read more about UFOs and stuff, obviously, because I know about Area 51 and New Mexico and Devil's Tower and such, but not places I've actually been. Interesting.
I've been to Roswell.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's probably a tourist trap these days, right?
it is. Yes, yes. They totally. You can tell it's totally tongue in cheek, especially amongst the shop owners.
Yep.
And I've been to the White Sands Proving Grounds. I didn't get very far. It was shut down due to COVID.
Oh, it sucks.
But that we did go to White Sands, and I may or may not have gotten a sample.
Yep.
There are big signs up everywhere that say, "Do not remove the sand."
I was going to say, do not incriminate yourself because they are listening.
Yes.
Oh, this is interesting. During 1943, the quote German village and Japanese village set pieces were built at Dugway for practice in the firebombing of homes in urbanized areas of Nazi Germany and Japanese Imperial Home Islands. I think I probably knew that at one point, but I've forgotten about it. Yeah, there it is.
Come and ask us. We were really good at firebombing Germany.
Yeah. The truth is out there. All right. You know what, guys? This has been going on for 3 hours now, and I should probably start thinking seriously about going to bed.
Weakling.
Yeah, I am. I am a complete weakling. Oh, Tonopah test range. What?
See, none of you true believers in the Jelly God.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, I'll just start stripping right now before I stop the stream.
It's a new sign out.
I have control of your camera, so it doesn't matter whether you sign out or not.
Honest Abe, what is? Let's do this again. PSE. PSE means what? You guys are educating me in all kinds of slang, or is that just a typo? Please, peas. Let's do it again. I agree 100%. Let's do it again. It's always great when you show up. What does PSE mean? Tell me.
No.
No.
No. Refusing to tell you.
Fine, I'll start undressing. There you
You
go.
You don't have authority over me to force me to tell you.
Oh, that is true. I'm not a believer.
You don't have dominion over us.
I bow to no Dan.
I don't think he's picking it up.
No, he's not.
All right, for once I was right. It means please. Yes, Honest Dave, we shall do this again. And
Damn it, Honest Dave. Stop letting all the secrets out. You know how much that would have driven him nuts until someone told him?
All right, so my homework is to do some serious thinking about this debate thing we talked about earlier. Because are you guys still interested in pursuing that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I shall work up some questions and we shall touch base about it. But meanwhile, tonight we're going to wrap it up. Thank you again, guys. It's been a lot of fun and productive even.
Hey, just a quick thing before you disappear.
Yep.
You're going to be getting close on the watch hours.
Actually, they're creeping up slowly. I think I'm at. Let me look. I haven't actually looked in a couple of days. Now that you're mentioning it, I should take a look. Let's see.
Because you've been hitting those 2-3 hours lately.
Yeah, but I think average people are around maybe half an hour or so. So Let's see here. YouTube Studio. Okay, let's see. Where is it? Money Signal will be. Oh, actually, I think it's gone up about 100. Since I
See?
looked at it. I'm at 23. I'm at 2307.
And this won't include today's,
Right.
or probably yesterday's.
Now let's see. Yeah, I think it updates every 48 hours or something like that. Yeah, every 48 hours. So, yeah. Well, okay. So it's going up faster than I thought, actually.
See, told you.
Yeah, halfway there. This actually should be able to make it by October, because I believe that's the cutoff. September, October, something like that is when it hits the year. But it rolls over, I think. I don't know. We'll find out, because yeah, thanks for reminding
We'll
me.
get you there
Yeah.
without pink hair dye, because you know, worse.
Yeah. No pink hair dye. Sorry. But okay, thank you guys. I really do appreciate it, and I will talk to y'all later.
Catch you again.
Thanks for hanging out, Dan. It's always great. And yes, and this time I will end the stream.